So, what if I told you in August that your team would be first in the league, qualified for the playoffs and Champions League, have won two trophies, and still be in all competitions? That would be a great first half of the season, right? Unless you're a club like Real Madrid. Hey guys, my name is Dylan, and welcome to my first video here on Full Time Footy. I really appreciate you taking out the time of your day to tune in and watch it, and feel free even to leave a like, or maybe even subscribe and a comment and all that if you can. And yeah, and I just want to make it clear that on this account, I'm going to be covering almost entirely soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, that sort of content. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Oh, come on, bro. Lock in. So, like I said before, when you look at their season from their point of view, you don't know whether you want to be shocked or somewhat impressed. It is undeniable that Real Madrid is a team with winning in their DNA. We have seen it time and time again. We saw it last year. We saw it for the last decade, honestly. And when you add players with the winning mentality to that, you're almost destined to reach even greater heights. Or at least that's what everybody thought. But somehow, some way, this season has been kind of the opposite of that. So back in July, when Mbappe first signed for Real Madrid, everybody was expecting this to be a new era of complete domination. When you have that many superstars on a single team, you have players like Mbappe, Vini, Rodrigo, Bellingham, Valverde, so many. It started the hype train of what many people thought would be one of the greatest teams we have ever seen, myself included. But when you fast forward to what is now February, things have almost turned on their head. After a great start of the season against Atalanta, which literally opened up with the trophy, things looked like they were going to go in the right way for Madrid until literally the very next game when things took a complete 180-degree turn. A 1-1 draw against Mallorca to open La Liga was a horrible way to start for Madrid, and you can see it in the reactions online with the way everybody was talking. And to be followed up a few games later with a 2-2 draw at Las Palmas only brought things to an even worse degree. And that doesn't even where it finishes. When you then follow that up with a 1-1 draw at La Wanda Metropolitano, and then a 1-0 loss to Lille in the Champions League, which absolutely nobody expected. Things are looking very bad for Madrid, and we're only, 10, 11 games into the season? But what followed up a few weeks later was a 5-2 win over Borussia Dortmund, which made them look pretty convincing and had people thinking that they'd be ready for the Clásico, which they weren't. And we saw that. And they lost 4-0 at the Bernabeu by a bunch of high schoolers that Barcelona picked up. And to rub more salt in the wound, I think literally the very next game, we would lose 3-1 to Milan at home, again in the Champions League, which would put us in even more danger in the group stage, having us eliminated. And as much as I would wish to stop there, it goes more, it goes even deeper. Following that up with a 2-0 loss to Liverpool at Anfield, in which we were absolutely dismantled in every single way. And if we're being honest, Liverpool probably should have won the game by more. We were lucky. With the absolute low, you could say, coming at San Mamés against Bilbao, where we lost 2-1. And yet again, the fake CR7, Mbappe, missed another penalty. And when you add the countless injuries to some key players throughout the season, it kind of looked like this season was just ready to be scrapped up in December. But as people have always said, you can never count out Real Madrid unless it's against Barcelona this season. Then yeah, sure. But if you can somehow ignore the massive elephant in the room that is the humiliating losses and draws that we've had this season, you could have an argument that this season really hasn't been that bad. We've seen them win in pretty spectacular fashion so far this season with pretty big scorelines and, like was said earlier, the two trophies. But of course, numbers only play a small part of the story. When you look at those games, you got to think to yourself, do they play good? No. Are they entertaining to watch? No. But do they get the result? Yes. And that is what separates them from every other team in Europe. That winning mentality that will always push them through to the end no matter what. Their ability to turn a game completely on its head in only 5 minutes is the reason why they are still in all competitions and gives them an edge over every team in Europe. And if you wanted to be literal about it, you can argue that the main reason why Real Madrid have been completely fallen off is because of Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham. Those two guys have just been incredible. And Mbappe has just recently started to pick up some form, but we'll do that for another time. And when you talk about the negative side of their season, you don't know whether you want to blame the players or the manager. Most of the blame has gone to the manager, but when you watch the games, you see these players. A lot of them look lazy. A lot of them aren't checking back, and a lot of them just don't look like they want to be there. But you can definitely also blame the manager when he has players like Raul Asensio on the bench, who has, without a doubt, been our best defender all season. Has Endrick and Arda Güler on the bench, barely even giving them minutes, and he keeps on playing the same backline: Mendy, Rudiger, Xiaomeni, and Lucas Vasquez, which we have seen time and time again has not worked and it won't work. And as the time of recording, they have literally just an hour ago, they have lost Espanyol away from home. And it's the same story. The players are lazy. They don't look like they want to be there. And there's just nothing going on for them. There's no tactics, no nothing. Everybody looks lost. But you can also say that with the way you see people talking about Madrid online, you would genuinely assume that they're like not even in the top 10 of La Liga when they're literally first. They're in the playoffs for the Champions League, which they're going to play City. And they've won two trophies. So, I mean, is it really that bad of a season? So, like I said before, their next massive game is against Man City, who are also in horrible form. It's unfortunate, honestly, that these two teams have to play each other so early on, simply because they both aren't in the best form. But we both know that when they are on form, they're without a doubt the best teams in Europe. If you ask me, maybe I'm biased. I think Real Madrid can take this one home. Yes, both teams have been bad, but when you look at which team has been worse, easily it's City. But like said previously, if Xiaomini and Lucas Vasquez start next to each other on that day, on those days, it's anyone's game. So overall, if you were to ask me if Real Madrid has been having a good season or a bad season, I would tell you their season isn't as bad as people are making it seem. It's worse. Once Mbappe, Vini, Jude, and Rodrigo can finally find a way to find that chemistry that they so desperately need, I really think things can turn completely around and they will begin to dominate Europe like they're supposed to. But besides that, I thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. And yeah, feel free to leave a like, comment, and even subscribe. Thank you.